So, let's get that first of all. So far, so good. But I'm not even going to run the risk of trying to do anything else with this at the moment, because it'll just knock everything off. Unfortunately, when it comes to this high tech stuff, there are some people that think that I'm far more computer savvy than I really am. Oh, where's Sean the sheep? He's right here. He's right here doing a good job, keeping an eye on things. And I'll put him back up here. There, peeking out, having a look to see what's going on. And now let me check and see what's happening here with the video. Right. Let's see, where are we then? That's great. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Let me just get this bit sorted out first. Okay. See where we are then on this. Right. So I'm sorry for the confusion. There's obviously one very short one that that kind of crashed. Go on to the next one. That seems to be, yes, I think, yes, I've got that one up and running now. As for trying to get up the other channel thing, as I say, I'm not that computer savvy, unfortunately. But yes, at least I've got the right screen. At least, oh, look at this. We've got a friend come to visit. Oh, there he is. There he is. A wee spider. Where's he gone? Oh, there he is. Can you see him? Having a wee wander. There we go. There we go. Hiya, mate. How you doing? You followed me from Australia, did you? No, I'm just going to let him out. There was a huge spider appeared at the Hodds Ranch when we were there the first night. We went and had a look around. It's got a big. We say a ranch. I mean, it's he doesn't like keep any livestock. The neighbouring people. they do a certain amount of farming, but his is just a huge residential property. Very, very nice, very, very, very enjoyable, very relaxing as well. And he's got this wonderful outdoor swimming pool, big swimming pool, but it's undercover. It's got like an open building above it, and coming down from the rafters was this huge cobweb. You know, you're talking like that by that, and then when you looked up, there was the spider, and it was at least, well, it was kind of bunched up, but it was at least like that, this big spider, and nobody was going to disturb Mr. Spider. He was obviously about to tuck into his tea once a few insects had flown his way. I just wanted to talk a little bit, first of all, about how this whole event came about. Probably do that with the dude, but how it's going, it seems to be absolutely amazing. I've managed to catch a bit of everybody that's been on so far. I must admit, when Eric Ozzie told me that he'd got John Varak coming on, I knew that was one I did not want to miss, because I don't mind admitting that I've been messaging John Varak for a long time now, asking him to come and join in and do a chat with the dude, and it's been, as with so many things, it just seems to take a long time to get things sorted out, to get things done. And I don't think that's because anybody's procrastinating over it. I think it's just the nature of things. You know, people living busy lives, having other things on. One of the guys that we weren't able to connect with for this event was, of course, Alex Mundy of Fresh Start Monday. But you'll remember that Eric Ozzie did a video chat with him, and again, that was something that it took a long time to arrange, to sort out. Not that you need to worry too much about that, because as you can see, that it eventually gets done. I suppose there's parallels with the case, isn't there, whereby I can't help thinking that in most countries, once that bullet, the infamous item FL, once FL had been found to have wood in it, the journalists would not have shut up about it. They would have been going on and on and on about this, and yet over there, the journalists seem to be in the pocket of the state, and certainly the law enforcement. You know, you keep coming back to this word in the title of Jerry's book, the illusion. It's all about creating an illusion of what's good, what's going on, what's the way things should be, that everything's calm and under control, when in actual fact, you know, what Kathleen Zellner is going to be trying to do soon, what is trying to do and will eventually do, is completely ruin the reputation of well, they've already been ruined, but she's trying to bring down a whole system. which isn't going to be popular. You can understand why they're. Let me just get rid of some of these. I don't know why they keep popping up. I get a whole load of raft of things coming up, messages that I thought that I've read from ages back. Where was I? Yes, the funds raised. My goodness. I've just had a message come up. The funds raised so far, 1,920. Now, I'll be honest with you, that the goal was, the target was 2,000, but because of the way it was going, it was raised up to 4,000. I think that's absolutely amazing, absolutely brilliant that you've that you guys out there have managed to do that. That's absolutely fantastic. Hard. Oh yes, Mark's video. I'm gonna ask the dude to take the video and post it on my channel as well, because Mark said, look, I'm going to send you this video, and feel free to put it on your channel. And obviously, looking forward to getting some clips of Manitowoc and the drive up to Manitowoc from Chicago in June, and hopefully we'll see a lot of you there. Yeah, it was an excellent video, absolutely. Karen has put, so you need a thong. That's a spider killing machine in Australia. One of the videos that I've shown Eunice and a few other people is where Carl Barron talks about that very subject. And in fact, I'm sure Karen would agree that another term for a thong is as like a flip flop, because it's got the toe, the bit that goes between your big toe and the rest, And this Carl Barron video talking about the confusion between what he thinks of as a thong, and of course what in the UK we think of as a thong, well, this is a musical term. One of the greatest tunes by Bach, of course, is Air on a G string. That's what we in the UK think of as a thong. A thong is a lady's G string. And so the confusion about Carl Barron wearing a thong, talking to a guy who's got a completely other meaning for a thong is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's fantastic. So last night I was well, yesterday was very busy for me. This did cause a bit of a problem with the fact that I had a busy day, both teaching in the morning up until midday. Well, I was scheduled to go till 2 o'clock. Luckily, I was able to reschedule the ones from midday, and even when I finished yesterday's video, I had another pupil came along an hour later. And last night I did a gig up in Edinburgh, and you'll notice that Eric Cozy has already posted a short video. I sent him clips of our sound check, and where we play a couple of tunes to get people up on the dance floor, ready to do the next dance. Scottish dancing, Ceilidh dancing is pretty energetic stuff. They last night we did over a dozen different dances, and at most Ceilidhs that I go to and play, people don't. Some people know the dance, some people don't. So I have to explain the dance and walk them through the dance. Try and get them to at least have an idea of what's going on. What was good about last night was the fact that I was playing for the Orkney Society, but the Edinburgh Orkney Society. So this is a society set up in Edinburgh where people who are originally from the island of Orkney. If you're not sure where Orkney is, if you look at a map of Scotland, it's right at the top, just above Wick. You go to the top of Scotland, the very top, it's kind of flat, straight, so it's a straight line across. You go above the mainland of Scotland and you get the island of Orkney. And then, of course, further north, slightly to the right on the map, is Shetland. And so inEdinburgh, they have a Caithness Society. Caithness is that area at the very top of Scotland where you've got Wick, which is quite a big town at the top of Scotland. They've got a Caithness Society, an Orkney Society, and a Shetland Society. And they have these joint events together. This one last night was actually pretty close to the theatre that Steve Drizzen and Laura Nyrider appeared at on the 4th of January. That was the first time I'd seen Steve Drizzen and Laura Nyrider. And actually, I was teaching on that Friday up in Edinburgh, up in, Dalkeith, which is sort of just below Edinburgh. And from Dalkeith, it's just a short drive into that sort of south side of Edinburgh, basically an area called Newington of Edinburgh. And so I managed to get parked sort of 20, 30 yards away from the theatre. And the parking is unrestricted after 6:30. Now, at 6 o'clock, everybody knows that the traffic wardens then finish, but it's officially restricted till 6:30. So I sort of waited in my car, waiting for the, for the 6:30 time to come and go, where I could leave the car, nip into the pub that's right next to the Queen's Theatre. And I'm sat there as usual, looking at my phone. And I'm thinking, I think I recognise that couple walking along. And sure enough, it was Steve Drizzen and Laura Nyrider who were, they were walking to the theatre. So I got out and said hello. I said hi there. Didn't have a long time to chat because, of course, they're keen to get into the place, to get set up. Don't know if I mentioned this, but Steve Drizzen explained that when they actually arrived, just after I'd said cheerio, so they headed on to the theatre. And in fact, they said, do you know where it is? I said, well, yes, it's just literally here. You are at the theatre. It's just next to this pub. The sort of entrance to it is set back a little bit from the pavement. And apparently, as Laura had gone in, as they'd gone in, Laura had heard what the sound engineer was playing was playing this track, and apparently she'd gone along to the sound engineer and said, "Excuse me, we'll not be using that particular track at all tonight." And the track was by The Clash, and it was their famous song, "I Fought the Law and the Law Won." Well, let's see what happens in Brendan's case. I don't know if I'll put this open to people out there, and maybe you would be good enough to send me your opinion. Thoughts on? I'm pretty sure that if Brendan, well, we know for a fact that. Let me take you back. Let me give this a little bit of, because I've got the time to do it, and it's great that I've got this time, because normally when I do videos it's like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, because if I'm in the house, the load up speed of the videos is so slow. It takes about an hour to load up like a 12-minute video, whereas this being streamed live is absolutely brilliant. I love this. So let's give this a little bit of background. Oh, hello there. How you doing?
I don't have my headphones on yet because I was going to play Mark's little feature for you.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay. Hello there. How you doing?
I don't have my headphones on yet because I was going to play Mark's little feature for you.
Oh yeah.
Is that me on?
Oh, hello there. How you doing?
Did I forget to mute? I did. Damn. I suck.
All
right.
No, I have possibly messed things up because I tried to do the business whereby I went from this screen to my YouTube, and that caused all sorts of problems. I couldn't get to my YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go.
Lovely.
I'll do a screen share, I think, here. Yeah, I can do it. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Hello everyone. As part of the MaM-a-thon weekend starting Friday and ending Sunday, I thought I'd take you on a journey to Warpon to visit Steve and Avery.
That's the
I hope
hot,
you enjoy
everybody.
the ride, and as always, Stacey Seabrook is nearby. This is the Manitowoc River coming in from Lake Michigan, and you'll notice in the background a submarine as part of an important museum for the town.
The scales of justice can erode.
This is 8th Street, the main street of Manitowoc, leading across the opening bridge and all the way up to the courthouse. To the right is the Bernstein's candy store, which is well known to you all.
We live on Avery Road.
This is Washington Street, and it leads to the Manitowoc Courthouse at the top of 8th Street. In the front is the area where this year's rally will be held. Outside the courthouse, Washington Street turns down 8th Street, and across the road for those thirsty rally goers is the courthouse pub, partly fueled by the building behind. While this is a road trip to Warpon, we can't leave the courthouse without a visit inside and to remember the plight of Brendan Dassey. I will let the images and Stacey's music tell the story.
Oh, they say you can trust us. All but they use the badge for an illusion of justice. Oh, they say you can trust us. All but they use the flag for an illusion of justice. It's indefensible. Oh, now what they did, convict an innocent man twice with a 16-year-old kid. Yes, we can turn away, pretending all the pieces fit. Oh, but if we turn away, we let them get away with it.
So let's leave the courthouse and get on the road to War Pond. But before we do, one last ride down historic A Street, up through the residential district, and onto one of the most iconic images of MAM.
Wisconsin can't be so cold. The scales of justice can erode. If we accept lies big and bold, all we forget, we live on Avery Road. We live on Avery Road. Should be easy to see. This could be you, could be me. We shouldn't sit by idly, accepting everything, all that we are told. I live on Avery Road.
When Stephen Avery asked me to be on his visitors list, I was very honoured. The next part of the video are excerpts from the 100-mile drive from Manitowoc to War Pond by I-43, 23 and 151, and how residential buildings are in fact surrounding the prison. I take you on a journey right around the perimeter before parking out the front.
And you know wherever I am, I'll come running. Oh yes, I will see you again.
The War Pond Correctional Institution was built in 1852 and houses approximately 1,300 inmates. The architecture is a little foreboding. Had in fact it been a museum, we would probably laud it as being very, very interesting. Inside the prison, the facilities are quite modern, the staff are friendly and courteous. So I'm at War Pond. It's Thursday afternoon around 2:30. I'm about to go and visit Stephen. The weather's very overcast today and a bit cool. But Stephen's always makes the day very bright. He's a very positive person. He's very courteous and interested in his case, understandably so. Very appreciative of all the supporters. And when I leave him, I always feel quite uplifted by it all. And he certainly adds a value to myself by spending time with him. So when I finish with him, which will be in a few hours, I'll come back out and say a few words. But this is Little War Pond, and behind us is the War Pond Correctional Centre, which
Ain't it good to know you got a friend? Ain't it good to know you got a friend?
back again. So yes, had a great visit with Stephen. We talked about many things. He was in a great mood, very positive. We had a great time together, played cards as usual, and he beat me. So yeah, one up to Steve for that. And yeah, but he wanted me to tell everyone to thank you once again for all your continued support and letters and best wishes that he gets, and obviously some of you have direct contact with Stephen as well. But all in all, he's very appreciative of all the support, and also very excited about the 48 hours of MaM-a-thon on the weekend. Yes, so it was a good day. It was a really good day, and it's nice to see him in such a great mood given his circumstances. Anyway, I'm going to start up. I need to head back to my hotel. Another wonderful visit with Stephen.
Well,
here's one last look at War Pond. It's time to head home across the beautiful plains of Wisconsin, enjoying the sunset. Thank you for coming on the journey with me, and know always how much Stephen really, really, really appreciates your support. My best wishes.
Wisconsin can be so cold. The scales of justice can erode. If we accept lies big and bold, all we forget, we live on Avery Road. We live on Avery Road. Should be easy to see.
All right. So that was it. Where'd Paul go? All right, there we go. We're back. Hello, everybody. Guess I gotta take over here while we figure out where Paul is. He strapping on the accordion? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, who knows? Did you guys see the one I posted about him playing the accordion? Hey. The teen boys are marathon watching, man, because of the MaM-a-thon. Yeah, I did. I lost Paul. He's MIA. Oh, you do? I can't do anything about it now. Yeah. I could possibly do something about it later when Paul goes offline. I can log into his account and create some mods. Anyway. Hello? What's up, buddy? Oh, there's an echo. Yeah, I can hear you. There's an echo. You're on your phone, right? Wait. You're on your phone, right? So open Hangouts. No, I mean just open. No. Open your Hangouts app and see if there's a Hangout there with me and you. Well, see if there's a Hangout there with a call going. You have the app on your phone, right? Oh, all right. Never mind. Paul is understanding why he needs a second monitor. Hello again. Yes. Your mic and you turned off your camera. Yeah. Hold on. All right. Okay, so explain that one again for everybody. All right. Whoa. Why is there feedback? You still there? Yeah. Okay. You got feedback and stuff over there, dude. I know, but that noise is. You want to reset everything? Okay. Okay, bud. All right, let's see if he can do it. Oh, I should have told him. Hold on, I know what to tell him. No. You should be able to go, Paul, wherever your hangout is, wherever you started the hangout originally, wherever you started your hangout from, you should be able to go there. Oh, looks like you figured it out.
I have no idea what I pressed. I have no idea. Oh dear. You know. One of the things that we were meant to do in Australia, in Australia, was you were going to show me all this stuff.
Try it.
But I'm beginning to think there is no way you are going to risk the grey hairs trying to explain to me how to work this stuff. Sorry, I put my headphones on. Oh dear. Huh? How the hell did that happen? So, first of all, how do you think this MaM-a-thon is going?
Oh, very well.
Yep. A lot better than you had anticipated, similar to, or?
I don't know I'm not sure what I had as expectations other than I was just hoping there would be a pretty good interest, and there has been. I mean, I haven't really had my average viewers drop below 130.
Yeah.
So, and Tracy, even on her live that she just had, she was just over 100 most of the time.
Yeah.
She spent maybe an hour or so around 78, 80. But then, especially when her daughter came on, her daughter was very interesting, and that that seemed to make that seemed to get people's attention, and that's when it went up over 100. It was up around 116 for a while, I believe it was, and then by the time they were finishing up, it was down about 103. So she was over 100, so that was cool. She just put a bunch of money on the board for Brendan and Steven. That was pretty cool. So
Yes, it's. I didn't know what to expect. What I do know is that it's been a very interesting journey. And sorry to bring back this painful memory, but of you having to wear the kilt, and it's just like, how far have we come from asking people to do videos to then having YouTubers getting together and having all these people join in. I mean, you've had all these Redditors as well, people that we've seen. TikTok, I've never heard his voice before. Now we know what he sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, that was cool when I got a call from him, and a lot of that is due to the work of 7 Pairs of Panties.
Yeah.
7 Pairs of Panties was doing a lot of work behind the scenes, talking to a lot of the Redditors, seeing if they would be willing to come on and that sort of stuff. So my tip of the hat to 7 Pop.
Yep. So I was gonna. I was actually just about to, just before you joined, and Jane, we'll get you on shortly. I need to get sorted out here, and you might need to send me your email again, because unless it'll come up automatically. What's that? Yeah, almost 2,000 so far. That's right. Be happy, definitely. I was just talking about Steve Drisden, and I was going to give the background to how I first got in touch with him, and I've actually sent quite a few emails. I think all of which I've shared with you, haven't I?
I believe so, yeah.
And you remember when the one that I sent him, when it was decided by SCOTUS that they weren't going to look into Brendan's case, and that was huge disappointment.
Yeah, only that I remember he was pretty dejected and he was pretty bummed out.
Yeah, I mean, there was never any guarantee that SCOTUS were going to hear the case. Obviously, there was no guarantee of that, although we had all these amicus briefs, and of course there was already people were looking at the panel that make up the judges in SCOTUS and saying, even if we get there, it could still go against Brendan, because you've still got judges there that enjoy or prefer the status quo. You had somebody on that talked about I've heard somewhere talking about the fact that with a lot of these cases, eventually they want closure, don't they? And this is what happened in 2011. They decided to hand the bones back because they thought that was closure, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
But
well, I suppose in some way they rationalized it that way. Yeah.
But anyway, no, I sent Steve Drisden an email, and what was his reply like?
I don't remember specifically.
No, but the tone of it.
While we were in Australia?
No, sorry.
You're talking about the one way back then. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was about, to be honest.
Well, he was pretty hacked off, wasn't he? He was saying that
I imagine he was, yeah.
He's been in the game long enough to know that these things happen. He was going to need time to take a break, get away from it, and come back with renewed energy. One of the things he did say, in fact, I wonder if I could. Yeah, here we go. I can. I can get the actual email. Hold on a sec. Let me find it, because it's worth repeating. Where are we? So I've got a whole list of.
Sorry, seeing as we have Pom Pom here now to check the totals for us, let's see if we can try and get to say, I don't know, 2,100 before the end of Paul's segment here. So she'll be able to check on that for us. So thanks for being here, Pom Pom.
Yes, yep, absolutely brilliant. Let's see if I can find.
Kimberly Williams, you put the @ symbol and you start typing the person's name, and usually it'll pop up in a little pop-up box, and you can just choose the person's name. If you type in at least 2 of the letters, it'll usually pop up with at least one name, sometimes a list, but then you just pick the one you want. So we're at 1,945 right now. So yeah, if we can get over 2,100 or maybe even possibly up to about 22, that'd be really awesome. So let's see how we can do there on that.
So it'll be somewhere else. Let me sort out that email for my next spot, and I'll read out both my letter to Steve Driven and my reply from him.
There you go. Are you having Lord Voldemort on?
Well, I've messaged him, but I know that he was away in Oklahoma, so whether or not he'll be able to join us or not, I don't know. As my mum used to say, "He that expecteth nothing shall not be disappointed." But it would be great if he can. How did you manage to do that? You've managed to make a mod out of Pom Pom.
No, I didn't. But Pom Pom, now that you're a mod, you can do it. Pom Pom, make the appropriate people.
She's already got the
blue
in blue with the red.
Oh, there you go, Pom Pom. You can make all the right people mods.
I
think you should be able to.
Yeah, I think what's happened is because they were made mods at on the previous video. It did come up later on. I clicked on a thing that said, yeah, you know, make these mods, and it sort of said, you know, save that setting. So I presume that's what's happened there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The T1. See that? 83 cents. That represents me. Oh, dear. Funny. So yes, the tone of Steve Drizzen's reply was one of disappointment, and what he was saying was that sometimes it takes decades for basically for politics to kick in, for regimes to change, for opinions to change, for as he called it, dissenting majorities to become you know. What's the opposite of the dissenting majorities? You know, to change, for opinions to change.
Right.
I have no doubt, as far as I know, that Brendan, if he was offered this a pardon, which this guy Evers, is it the new governor of Wisconsin?
Mm-hmm.
That's his name, isn't it? Evers.
Yeah. So
he's setting up this pardons commission, and one wonders if Brendan isn't near the top of that list. We know that Steve would not take it, but surely that's because Kathleen Zellner has already invested. What's the latest figure as to how much she spent? $700,000 on his case so far.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, I think it's. I was just saying how much Kathleen Zellner has invested
Oh
in
yeah,
Steve's case.
I think it's. I thought I heard it was over $1 million at this.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So to me, I wonder if that's not one of the things that sort of. Well, I'm sure it is one of the things that separates the likes of Steve Drizzen and Laura Nyrider and their efforts to free Brendan, and Kathleen Zellner's efforts to free Steve.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a little bit of sort of the haves and the have-nots of the legal world.
You're right. Okay.
You see what I mean? That could be something that just irks them in the background, I suppose. If you've got people that defend the clients to begin with, you've got the ones that the innocence projects and stuff that try and do their best, and then you've got the attorneys that come in and they get the big settlements for their clients, and they get the big commissions. The big third of the money. And I'm just wondering if there's a little bit of, to say that just irks them slightly.
Right. Yeah. I suppose.
I mean, getting back to Brendan, I've heard that if an Alford plea was offered, he would take that. Clearly he would love to just be free, and start to live his life.
Yeah.
Definitely not in Wisconsin. I don't see any reason for him to stay in Wisconsin. I think he would be a target for people. I think he wouldn't enjoy any kind of anonymity.
No, oh yeah, he should get the hell out of there. He should have gotten the hell out of there before, personally.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious who Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department are, and I don't mean that in a flattering way.
No. Is that your phone going now?
My phone.
Yeah. This technology is, as I say, it's so really confusing. So I'm just having a drink. Thirsty work this.
Yeah, MaM-a-thon got me all messed up. As soon as I'm done with you, I gotta have dinner.
Yeah.
And it's after midnight here.
Is it really? Just turned midnight. Yes, it's just turned, isn't it? Yes.
So
yes.
That's how messed up I am right now, because MaM-a-thon has me sleeping weird and all kinds of stuff. So
okay, I'm gonna let you go and get your.
Passed out. Literally, I only was able to hang out. I was only able to stay awake long enough when I realized you guys were having technical difficulties, and so I was like, oh no, like, and so I managed to fight off sleep long enough to see you guys get it worked out and where you guys were going again. And literally, as soon as I saw that, my mind was like, that's it. Bam, I'm out.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, and then let you go and get your lunch, your tea or whatever.
Well, you can maybe ask a little more. I wasn't meaning to.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yes. What were we doing exactly 5 weeks ago?
Oh, we were in Straya.
Whereabouts?
Well, we're in Sydney and Melbourne.
No. Exactly 5 weeks ago.
Exactly 5 weeks ago. Christ.
Sunday.
It is a Sunday.
Sunday.
We're in Sydney.
No.
Really?
This time exactly 5 weeks ago.
Christ. I have to calculate Australian time.
It's
I might have been on a plane. I might have been over the Pacific.
No. Okay, so that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question. I'll give you the answer. I know exactly what we were doing. Exactly.
What were we doing exactly 5 weeks ago?
5 weeks ago. We were in Melbourne. We were getting our way back from the footy game. It was about 6 o'clock. It would be 6 o'clock in the evening over there.
Yeah, but
you remember Mark's phone died?
So Sunday, yeah, okay, you're right, because it would be Sunday there. So okay, fine.
Agreed?
No, wait, No, wait. It's actually Monday now. No, anyway. Well, it just turned midnight for me, so now it's Sunday for me too. So
It's
anyway,
Sunday here as well, yes. 8 o'clock in the morning, but over there it's 6 o'clock in the evening. Am I right, Australia?
gotcha. I'm with you.
It's 5 a.m. There you go. It is 5 in the afternoon in Australia. Right. We were at the footy game exactly 5 weeks ago.
Sure. Right. Yep.
What was the names
right
of the
before we went and got on the plane back to Sydney? But anyways, yeah.
Well, no, we went and had we went back to
we went and had
Jared's
with Mark's son, right?
Yes, yeah, and we went to that nice fancy Italian restaurant
with the rude waiters.
I wonder if it was just you, dude.
Could be,
because I thought, you're right. They do seem to ignore you. You were waiting on a Coke.
Hey, look, that's prejudice on their part. Just because I'm American, that's I'm being prejudiced.
Anyway. Well, all I can say is that all of the Australians, apart from that waiter that met you, they thought it was great that they'd got you in Australia, all the way from California.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It was great meeting supporters. I've been meaning to talk to Adam Bills, man. We got to talk to the guy for a long time after the Melbourne show.
We did.
We just went over there and hung out in the Crown food court of the Crowd and Casino there. And we were just hanging out in the food court. We talked. How long did we sit there talking, dude? It must have been like 2 or 3 hours before we go back to the Jazz motel. And then Mark and I met a girl there. In the bar, who we started talking about making a murder, and then the conversation turned to some of the things that she's had to go through in life, and it was a pretty intense conversation. Really, we didn't expect it after coming from having so much fun with Adam, and we got into this really intense conversation with this girl. It was crazy, no, it was interesting though, to say the least. But we were getting back late. Anyway, like I said, we sat over there talking with Adam for a while. Adam was a lot of fun to talk to.
Absolutely. And we went back to the hotel room, the Jazz Corner, and there was that guy that had jumped into the big pond near the hotel. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, I think I remember. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that guy. I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, we were walking back, right? Yeah. I remember that guy now. Yeah.
But sorry, getting back to where we were exactly 5 weeks ago, we were in a big stadium called
Marvel Stadium
in Melbourne. We were watching the Aussie rules football between two teams.
Footy
between
St Kilda and Gold Coast.
Yes. Do you know where St Kilda were in the league before we went to that game?
I don't. I know they won though.
Yes. Well, they were mid-table.
Wow.
They were mid-table. There's 18 teams in the league.
Oh, they brought them good luck. It's all because of the Stephen Avery sign, right here.
Well, do you want to know the truth?
What's up?
The truth.
The truth is, yes.
Can you handle the truth
about Australian footy? Yeah, I think so.
No, about St Kilda.
Okay, yeah. What?
Since we put that sign up, guess where they are in the league now?
Where?
Top.
That's what I said. They're at the top, right?
Yeah, top of the league. Top of the league. All as a result of you putting that sign up, nearly getting arrested.
Yeah, nearly causing an international incident.
Yeah. Anyway. Look what that banner can do.
I don't know if we were about to cause an international incident or not, but I like saying it.
Mm-hmm. You were funny. You were saying about
coming back on, or did he already? Was his first stint all for him?
What's that saying?
Are you going to be having Sharkbait back on, or was that it in your first segment?
Sharkbait. It'll be 2 a.m. there.
Oh, not right now. I mean, but
Yeah.
I mean, you have another segment coming too.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely,
I
yeah.
was just curious. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've as I said, I've flooded the internet on Facebook Messenger with invites. So it's just a case of whether they can join in. Jane's going to join shortly, hopefully. So
Yeah.
because you
People are
didn't,
telling me I need sleep now. Oh, brother.
yeah. So yeah, they've
I need food before sleep though. But anyway.
so yes, they've gone to the top of the league because of the flag.
Hey, Mark's here. What's up, Mark? What's up, dude? Good to see you.
He's where?
He's in the chat.
Is he?
He is.
Oh. Is he presentable?
No, he's in his budgie smugglers.
Oh. Did I send you the advert, the Foster's advert?
I believe. Oh, yeah. With the guy. Yeah, the proper. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The guy phones up, says, "I'm on holiday in Ibiza. My mate wants me to rub something on him, you know." And he goes, "Well, that's a delicate subject, you know. There are certain rules you have to play by.
You have a burned wingman.
You've got to, you know, just on the back and just so far down, you know, not so far down." And
do not make eye contact.
Yeah.
And oh man, and if he's wearing budgie smugglers,
no, yeah. So he goes to his mate, and his mate says, "So what did he say?" And he looks at him and he says, "You got to change those trunks."
Oh yeah.
No,
budgie smugglers are totally banned. No one should wear budgie smugglers.
Hold on a sec. I'll send Mark the invite and Jane as well. But Jane, I'll need your if you could send me your email, your Gmail address again, please, Jane. That would be brilliant. But let's see if I can get Mark.
Hey.
Great, how I know his one off by heart.
Here's one what?
I know his Gmail off by heart.
Oh, there you
go. Yeah, you're impressed at that, aren't you?
What, that you can remember something?
There we go. Look at that. I'll invite him and to see what he. And there's James.
Yeah, Finn's telling me to get some sleep. Yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you. You know.
And of course,
he can't come on. No worries, buddy. No worries.
And also, if there's any of the Australian viewers that I recognise all these names, if any of you want to come on and join the chat,
Adam Bills, if you're out there.
Oh yeah. Let me just get Jane's. Just go and get that one from Jane. It's a nice, easy to remember, but there we go.
Take Red Bull. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna be here for about 10 more minutes, folks, and then I'm gonna go and get something to eat and get some sleep. Because it seems to be all the chat can talk about is my need for sleep.
Yeah.
So
what I was thinking, and I'll put this to you before you go. At the end of your one that you finish off, I've got a suggestion, and that is that we finish off in the traditional Scottish way with Auld Lang Syne. And I'll get the accordion on, and we'll play it. I'll play it, and we can all sing it. Do you know Auld Lang Syne? Is it something, something you do?
Is that we won't be in time with your accordion playing? Well, wait. Yeah. Well, let me see.
I'll just play it and not sing it.
But it would be cool. It would be cool though. It would be good if all of us were together for the last, say, I don't know, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be jam-packed on that show, especially if especially if two people suddenly get back to me in the final hours instead of answering me, yesterday, like I would have probably liked better. But if two people get back to me in the final hours, I'm really going to be packing them in to tomorrow's live. So it's going to get interesting.
Well, as you know, I've been. Hi, Jane.
Hi. Hi, Cozy.
Hello.
And there's the t-shirt. There's the t.
I've got
There's
it
the
on,
t-shirt.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
well
yeah,
done.
there we go.
Thank you.
Sharp. I like it.
Mhm.
Just, Cozy, just before you go,
Yes.
I'm going to an event in London that was talking about yesterday with Night Rider, Drizzen, Beauty and Strang, and a few others. And I said to Paul, if you would like me to hand out some of your cards, I wouldn't mind at all.
Oh, awesome.
But I wanted to get your permission first.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So if you can.
You're allowed to promote Stacy and I to the hilt.
Right. Okay. I will do that.
I have got.
You guys should have seen Stacy. I loved watching Stacy when we were in Australia, man. He got a stack of those cards, and we were at the events, man, and he's just going around to people. Hey, how you doing? Handing him a card. So these are blah blah blah. I mean, it was great. It was just he was like a machine, dude, just walking around with. It was great. It was awesome watching Stacy.
Brilliant.
That's what I've got there.
Yeah.
I've got that many cards.
I've got a stack here.
And I've got a few that you sent me with the t-shirt. So
Yes. Yeah.
Got a stack there, right there. So yeah.
Well, what I'll do then is I'll send you these,
Yeah.
and I'll get some more off the dude when I'm in MaM-a-thon.
well, it's
Yes, but
Yeah,
I know. But I'll send you these.
Actually, I think Travis is planning on having more cards made, and I think he intends to add like Allie and Tracy, and I think even Paul to the card.
Yeah.
Because right now it just has me and Stacy on it, but it'll be funny. Are you getting VIP?
No, I couldn't. No, I was too late. That was my whole goal, and I was just too late.
It would have been awesome if you were VIP, and when you went back there, you could have handed Drizzen and Night Rider one of those cards from Australia. That would have been priceless for me right there.
Oh, the girl I'm meeting, a girl off Twitter who I speak to, who's very active on Twitter. Diane, her name is. She's got a VIP, so
see if you can give her 2 cards. Then yeah, it would be awesome if just for them to see those cards that came all the way from Australia would be awesome.
Yeah,
so.
And but I think Jerry Butin is signing books, so I am going to go and try and get my my book signed.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, really excited.
Yeah. The what I'll do then is I'll just post these off to you. I'll maybe get to send me your address again, and I'll get these popped in a bag and sent down to you. Just before we go, dude.
Hello, Stacy. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Is he here?
He is. He's in the chat.
Well, why isn't he on? I mean, Stacy, send me your link and send me your Gmail, and I'll get you on. In fact, Stacy ought to be here for this because it's been nearly 5 weeks. 5 weeks since I've had a drink.
I believe I know Stacy.
Well done.
Right, okay, dude. So I thought I'm gonna wait till he's watching this. Got something to show you. So wait till the dude is. What's that?
Can you see that in the group chat?
Oh yeah.
I think that's what you need for Stacy.
All right. Excellent.
Okay. So now, what do you want to show me?
Well, that's now you see now you are being really useful.
You don't half wind one another up.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. Oh dear, we fell asleep watching the was it the cricket one night, and the dude, he was telling me about the fact that he's got this twitchy leg. Gee, where is it? When it started twitching, banging on the floor. And then in the morning, when
Thank God I was asleep, because it would have annoyed the hell out of me if I was awake. But anyway, go ahead.
And then I got woke up by this alarm, and I'm thinking, where's that alarm sound coming from the distance? So I'm searching all the way through this apartment that we're in, and eventually I narrows it down to it's right beside his bloody head. It's his phone that's going.
See, that's what it's like for me, folks. I burn the candle at both ends, and so sometimes, I don't even hear my own alarm.
Okie dokie. Yes, there we go. You're absolutely right. So there we go. We'll see if Stacey will join us as well. So what I was going to say was that I think it's time that I open this bad boy.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Look what I got.
Oh yes. Yeah. So if Stacey is here, that would be quite appropriate. Let me open it, and I'll pour myself some of this. Okay.
It's
So
quarter past 8.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So I'll just let me just take the top off. Oh, there we go. Good.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Excellent. And look at the contents of that bottle.
Ah!
I love it.
That's what was inside. So I'm gonna celebrate by having some of this. See what it's like. I was at the gig last night. There was I noticed at one of the tables. It was one of these where people book the hall and then they go and do the it's bring your own booze party,
Right.
And I noticed that there was an 8-pack of Dr. Pepper kicking around. So even in Edinburgh, we have the Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
So here we go.
I was actually finding it a lot more easily in Australia than I expected that I would. So
I knew it was going to be there.
I figured we'd find it, but I was actually, like I knew that one mart, what is it, Easy Mart or whatever. I knew that when I saw those that there was a good chance. That one at Marvel Stadium really bugged me because they had every form of Dr. Pepper. They had cherry, diet, and everything except regular. I was like, oh. But, life goes on. I bought a Sprite and I was happy.
The only trouble with this is this is the sort that you don't like. This is the full sugar one. This isn't the diet.
I like the leaded. Yeah, I like the leaded. For those of you who don't know what leaded means, oh my God.
It means it's got all the sugar in it.
When you bought gas, you had to make sure you were putting the right kind of gas in your car because it was leaded and unleaded gasoline. Older cars ran on the leaded.
Yep.
So anyways, we all run on unleaded now, but so when I say leaded, anyways. So.
Yeah. and do you know what the difference is? Do you know what the difference is?
Jane?
Oh, sorry.
Who's that we hear?
Oh,
yeah,
my little boy. It's my 2-year-old. Sorry, I was just distracted. Sorry, what was the question?
I can imagine.
What was the question?
No, I was just asking who that was. That's
right,
all.
sorry, yeah.
Because we could hear a cute little kid there, but we couldn't see it.
Right,
so.
yeah. I'm trying to keep him out of eye shot. Just before you go, Eric Cozy, can I just say, when you got TikTok and 7 pairs of panties on, I know you spoke about it, but TikTok MaM-a-thon was one of the first people I used to follow on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, look, I mean, it appears as long as I stay humble and stick to what's important, it looks like people want to come on here and utilize my platform, and I want people to continue to do that. So it's completely mutual thing, Yeah. I want to keep creating a bigger noise for Stephen and Brendan, and now more and more people are wanting to come on and make a bigger noise for Stephen and Brendan. So it's continuing to snowball. So I'm going to stay humble. I'm going to stay focused on what matters, and we're going to see how big it gets.
Yeah. And I just learned so much more with every time you make videos. They every time people come on, you just learn so much more.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
sometimes
and
more
TikTok's
than
a
just
wealth. I mean, holy crud,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, I'm very passionate, but I couldn't even begin to know as much as all you guys.
Right. It's
I'm
just
learning.
comes with being in it for so long. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just 3 years down the line. That's
Yeah.
all. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But oh yeah, absolutely, it's
But
great.
it has been amazing. Even Casey on Ali's chat, amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was one
everyone's
little
great.
part where she got a little bit huffy with one of the supporters.
Yes,
I don't
I did.
necessarily like that, but
Mm.
you know, that's always been Mama Phoenix. She's
Yeah.
got a big personality, folks. She's got a big personality.
Yeah.
She's just, you know, she's just the way she is. She doesn't take, you know, what she perceives as, you know, not not with her. She can sometimes be a little maybe overboard.
Yeah.
I think other than that, she's entertaining, she's funny, and when she gets all that passion running towards the state of Wisconsin, I really love it.
Yeah.
When she, you know, she's putting all that, laying all that down on the agents of the state and all the bad actors and everything, and then I love it. But occasionally, sometimes we have that one little thing like we had, but fortunately, it didn't continue, and it went away quickly, and it didn't become a big, huge embarrassment. So.
No, I don't think it's effective.
It was good. It was fine. And like I said, everything else Casey was talking about was brilliant. She was really funny and entertaining. You know, being who she is. I mean, that's one thing. If you can, you know, handle Casey and stuff, then yeah, she is humorous. She is, you know, she's a lot of those things, but some people have trouble getting past certain little things with Casey, and I totally understand. But I personally am able to look past those things and see that she really is a passionate supporter, even in Brendan. Also, she's very admirable with her support of the David Thorne case. And she's actually very passionate about the case I'm passionate about, guys, the Scott Davis case.
Scott Davis, yeah.
She's actually done videos about it. So I have a lot of respect for Mama Phoenix and admiration for Mama Phoenix. I think she's doing good work. But yeah, sometimes she gets a little bit, you know, in trouble with her big personality. That's the way I like to put it. Her big personality.
You mean so that she's a loud American?
I suppose that's one way a Scotsman can put it.
Can I just suggest that she's not the only loud American?
I knew that's where you were going. Gee, telegraph that one a mile off, buddy.
But getting back to Australia, that's what they did. They all enjoyed having you there.
It was
apart from that waiter. Apart from him,
yeah. Dude, even the kids outside Marvel Stadium were stoked to see me. They didn't even know who the hell I was, and they were stoked to see me. So, hey, you know, anyway.
But yes, the next day, yes, it was the Sunday night that we flew back to Sydney, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then you never got any further than the airport, and that was you on the way back to.
Yeah, you and Mark went and tooled around for the rest of the day, though, right?
Well, yeah, we went and visited lots of. We visited one place in particular that's obviously very, very famous, Bondi Beach.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm. I mean, we didn't do much other than just a tour around, have a look around, and had a couple of beers in the Palisade.
Did you go hit some cricket balls?
We went near the Sydney Cricket Ground, which is the big iconic ground there. But and we went to the is it the ANZ Stadium, the big the stadium they built for the Olympics, but they also have sporting events there, and it's actually where they had the Rugby World Cup final of 2003, which is obviously etched in the memory of all England supporters because it was the one and only time that they actually lifted the World Cup. Now, here's an interesting thing. In rugby, they have a tournament for obviously normally it's played between 15 aside, but they have a seven-a-side tournament, and they have a World Series. And guess who's top of the league of the World Series?
Who? St. Kilda?
No, I mean internationally, an international competition,
It's an
seven-a-side rugby competition.
Uh,
The leaders of the World Series of seven-a-side rugby are USA.
Hey, let's organize the baseball World Series. Let's go ahead and get the Australian team and the Scottish team and the British team and whoever else, Germany.
There aren't any teams. It's only North America that play baseball. I believe Japan.
Hey, just so we can show you once and for all that you cannot play. Your best team cannot play on the caliber of our Major League Baseball. Then you'll understand why we're the world champions at it until you can field the team, right? So I think that's what we need to do. Go ahead and
let's
organize the tournament.
That's not the point I'm making, though. I'm making the point that we don't have all those other teams. It's a little bit like me saying that every year up at Perth, the person that wins the All Scotland Championship, they are the world champions. It's very easy to just say, well, because nobody else does it, well, we're the world champions. It's just bigging yourself up a bit, isn't it?
Do it. But you guys do play baseball. You told me you have a league.
No, we don't.
Anyway,
we're far more civilized. We play cricket.
You told me you guys have a baseball league. I know. Now you don't want to admit it. I get it. But
no, I never said we have a baseball league.
You totally did, dude. You totally did.
There might be like some in the amateurs. There might be amateur teams that play.
I said, yeah, you could build an all-star league, an all-star team out of that league, and it probably still couldn't beat the worst MLB team. That was my theory. I'd love to put it to the test, honestly. Anyways, we're getting off topic. This is supposed to be about Stephen and Brendan. So
who?
So don't make me play a clip.
No. We didn't really get much chance to ask Jane about when Jane was saying that when you first started, you actually watched Making a Murderer when it first came out.
Yes.
2015.
Yeah, a couple of months after it came out on Netflix.
How did you hear about it?
I just came across it on Netflix. I didn't know anything about it. I just came across the program on Netflix and I put it on, and that was it. That was it. I was just it just got to me, and that was it. And then I started reading books. I read up what I could because there wasn't much about it really, back then. And then it wasn't until MaM-a-thon came out, and then and then obviously I found all these groups and I started watching the likes of Very Cozy. And was very active on Twitter. And I just want to say, I can't see the chat, guys, but I want to give a big shout out to my girl, Di. I know she's there. She's just messaged me. Come on and join us if you can, Diane.
Right.
But yeah.
What I was going to ask is, it's one of these questions that one of these things that I find quite interesting is, if you're explaining to somebody about the case, there's so much to it. How do you sort of,
where do you start?
But present it to somebody in a very concise form, because when you do, for me, it sounds completely laughable.
Yeah.
When you say to them, well, I'm interested, or people were asking me, about going to Australia, and I say, yeah, well, it's actually an interesting thing. I've got Chad here on trying to get hold of me on Messenger. So let me just do this. Well, I'll tell you, if he's awake, then I'll just add him in. Sorry, Jane. Yes, I was explaining about how the I had people.
How do you explain it?
Yeah, well, I had to obviously explain to people why I was going to Australia, and I'm saying, well, you know, it's about this. I'm showing support for this convicted murderer who's in prison in Wisconsin, and it's like, what, you know, and then they realise it. You know, you're sort of slightly tongue in cheek, and then you explain what happened to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I've got people who I know that have watched it. They think I'm mad. But I just try and explain to people about just what a miscarriage of justice it is, and if no one talks about it, or if we don't do anything about it, if we don't shout about it, then is anyone going to listen? Obviously, they've got the legal teams doing everything they can for them, but we need to make more noise.
That's now you've just raised something very interesting there. You used a word that I'd like to think about for a moment there.
Okay.
There we go. There's Chad coming along.
All right. Well, before you do that, real quick, I'm heading out, guys.
Yes, go and get your.
I do want to announce. Thank you very much. Due to some generous donors, we're pretty close to the goal I was asking for of about 2,200. We are now at basically $2,060.83, $140 away from being at 2,200. So that's great, folks. Thank you for that. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe to Paul. Thank you everybody for being here. Chad, I don't know if you're there. How's it going, buddy? See you later, though. I'm on my way out, but it's good to see you.
I hope to see you in Scotland when you come.
I hope to be there in 2020. Alrighty, guys.
There you go. We hit 2,000. We hit 2,000. Oh, well, yes.
We're at 2060. Yeah, $2,000.60. I'm sorry, $2,060. So we're doing real well. $140 away from 2,200. So
yep.
So, anyways, all right, guys, be good. Subscribe to Paul. Subscribe to Allie. Subscribe to Tracy. Subscribe to Stacy. All right.
Yes.
Bye.
Hello. How you doing? Sorry, Chad. This is Jane.
Hi, Chad.
Chad is affectionately known as Lord Voldemort. Do you know why that is?
Paul, I'm just going to mute a minute.
Yeah, no worries.
2 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. Why are we Lord Voldemort, Chad?
I'm just he who should not be named. That's it.
You've been in Oklahoma.
Yeah, you never know where I'm headed right now. Take a wild guess.
Oh.
I'm actually driving down the road right now.
Colorado?
Nope, opposite direction. I'm headed to New York.
Oh, right.
Yeah, well, technically right now it's a 13-hour drive to Akron, Ohio, and then I'll stop and see some family in Akron, and then I'll shoot on up to upstate. I'm going to go visit my sister out there.
Wow. You get around.
I get around.
How many thousand have you got on the clock now?
I'm rolling in on 250,000 on this thing.
Gee whiz. What was on at Oklahoma? Can you divulge a little bit of what was on there?
I'm the second owner. It was a one-time owned vehicle when I bought it. It was on 193,500 something. So I've put over 50,000 on it. United States miles.
Wow. What was it in Oklahoma that you were at?
Yeah, I was just at the Nation in headquarters, and then the Cherokee Nation in Tahlequah and in Gore, Oklahoma.
And is that because you're interested in it or because of your background?
Well, I'm Cherokee, and then find out that I just qualified to enroll into the Nachi tribe, and we're going to be putting up a couple of bingo halls and stuff like that, so to help raise money for some things. So
Right.
Wrote up $100,000 grant for a language preservation grant for ancient Nachi language, so it's pretty cool.
Right. It's
A lot of
somewhat.
good stuff.
Yeah, it seems like there's a parallel there to Australia, because they're now taking their sort of Aborigine, indigenous people, very, very seriously, and realizing that whatever differences that there were, you've got to put them to the past now. It is what it is now. Now make the most of it, and get on and get on well together.
Right.
No, I find it all very, very interesting. Or the as you say, the indigenous side of things. I mean, obviously here in Scotland, we've got some people who are fluent in Gaelic. We even have a TV channel specifically for Gaelic speakers. People that speak the original Gaelic language. It's quite
Right.
quite
Speaking
interesting.
of Scotland, my Cherokee side that I come through, I actually go back through Scotland through a guy named Ludovic Grant, who
Right.
came from out that way. My ninth great grandfather was actually the second Baron of Scotland, way back in the day.
Yeah, I remember you were saying about that.
So I'll be headed your way next, Paul.
Yeah, well, we've got this. We've got the Eric Cozy dude coming across at some point, and I think I might also have one or two other people coming across to visit at some point. I wanted to ask you about your most recent. Your publications come under, is it Wordsmith?
WordPress, yeah.
WordPress, yes. And I don't know, Jane, have you ever read any of the amazing blogs? Is it what do you call them? They're not blogs, are they? What are they called?
Well, it's a blog site,
It's a blog. Have you read any of Chad's stuff, Jane?
I haven't.
Well, then this is where you will get some of the background information. The latest one that Chad's done. Well, sorry, I'm not going to steal your thunder, Chad. Would you like to tell us what's in your latest?
It has to do back with Norman Gann. Norman, I might have to mute here for a second because
Sure.
I might go through a toll booth.
But
if I do, I'll just put y'all on hold. But
yeah.
Norman Gann, when they did the blood vial, when Jerry Buden and Dean Strang had the blood vial sent off to test the lab, Norman was represented as the Assistant Attorney General of the state of Wisconsin, and he was a point of contact for the FBI, which, is as shady as everything. I understand that Norman Gann is like he's a pioneer of DNA in Wisconsin, but when it comes down to it, it's a criminal offense to give an FBI agent a different agency you work with, and so Norman Gann was given a point of contact for an FBI when testing Stephen Avery's blood vial for EDTA, and the swab on the ignition switch in the RAV4. So, we know that Thomas Fallon was the Assistant Attorney General, and we have this thing going on with Fallon and Gann giving the bones back. So if he's misrepresenting himself about the blood vial and the ignition switch, is there anything that we should be concerned with there? You know, because even if you found EDTA in the if you didn't find EDTA in the ignition switch swab, you know, you still have a chain of custody breach, you know, that's been tampered with.
Yes, I mean, on the
Hold on just a second, guys.
Yeah. So basically, I think what Chad's saying is that, you know, even on the lowest level of what's wrong there is the fact that you've got Norm Gann misrepresenting himself as being this assistant attorney general, when in fact he was simply the DNA expert. And to me, what annoys me, or what riles me, is the fact that if you've got one side representing law enforcement, and they in general are telling somebody, a member of the public, you've done something wrong, we're going to prosecute you for it, etc., etc. I know I had it myself. I had this. I'll tell you about it later. I had this speeding charge thing that I managed to win, and it's like, well, you've got rules that you've got to go by. You know, this all reminds me of him pleading with the press to say, "Oh, please, just let Sherry Culhane's testimony stand. There's nothing shady about it. We use common sense. You know, I'm sure people can understand that in life, you know, not everything's perfect, and you know, protocols have to be, you know, sometimes they have to be overlooked." Well, no, that's the only time that protocol has ever been overlooked. And you think, hold on a second, they're saying that you know, it's the word I'm looking for is to do with the fact that you've got double standards. You've got the standards at which the you know, which we as the public are expected to uphold, and if we do something wrong, we're going to face the law for it. The law themselves, they've got standards that and things that they're meant to do, and they can't be bothered with it because it doesn't suit them.
Right.
I find that very, 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 very annoying.
The interesting thing about Norman Gann, Paul, is okay. So one test screw. Everybody's familiar with one test screw. A lot of people. We were looking up, you know, how assistant attorney generals are appointed, and it's basically a paid position. You roughly make anywhere from $79,000 to $145,000, I believe. But you have to be appointed by the attorney general, and so we're like, if Norman Gann is represented as an assistant attorney general, you know, he filled out a employment application and got picked just like that, you know, and just to send the blood vial off. So it'd be interesting to know exactly, if he was representing himself as an assistant attorney general, why did the FBI accept that authenticity of his title? And another thing is, if he didn't, how much of that can Kathleen Zellner work with a tampering of the custody, with the chain of custody for that blood swab? I mean, you know, if you don't have EDTA in the swab or not, you still have a tampering with the chain of custody of how everything's handled.
Exactly.
Now, Norman Gann, he was the assistant district attorney for Milwaukee County, which, you know, that's about the equivalency of Michael Griesbach being the assistant district attorney for Manitowoc at the time. You know, so when we're talking assistant attorney general, that's third in command of the entire state, and you have Thomas J. Fallon, who was the assistant attorney general at that time. So with Fallon being third in command, you know, did Fallon approve it through the FBI? The thing that me and Juan also found out was that when FBI gets involved in any part of like a county operation, they have to go through either the Attorney General or the Assistant Attorney General, which are
Yes.
assigned to the case, and
Yes.
everything come back through the special agents or the FBI straight to Norman Gann as a point of contact for
Yes.
him, which he was privileged to Assistant Attorney General information that he wasn't supposed to be privileged to. So, but if you're trying to make something shady happen and you're trying to misrepresent DNA facts, trying to misrepresent scientific facts, you would let Norman Gann handle that because that was his expertise. So I mean, how corrupt is this? Even the blood swab coming back, if they gave back the Hallback, the bones of Teresa Hallback. I mean, and this was in the beginning stages, right before the trial. They basically sent that blood. They wanted that vial tested, emission swab tested on January 30th, and it come back February 16th of 2007. You know, right when the trial had started, right when Stephen Avery's trial had started. So we have a lot of manipulation, and you know, a lot of people give me hell for me talking about Buting, but another thing is, why did Buting and Strang give the control over to Norman Gann on that blood vial? Why didn't they just wait to get it privately themselves like most other attorneys do? So you got a lot of things going on in this.
Yes, as we know, it's like you've got these these guys. They all know each other, as you've alluded to. That they've all got offices within, you know, a short walking distance of one another. They're all pally with each other. We don't know quite the dynamics of their relationship, but we know that, for example, Dean Strang was, as you've pointed out, is quite friendly with Tom Fallon. And according to Kathleen Zellner, she thought that Tom Fallon was a decent, honest fella. But, you know, whether or not she believed what she was saying there or not is another matter. Certainly, you've sent her your book, and that contains all your research into it. It must have opened her eyes to the level of the corruption over there. Surely,
right now the copy she got was actually Stephen Avery. I sent Stephen a copy, and then Stephen took notes and asked questions, and he gave it to her when she visited him one day.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, what's going on here?" so I mean, in my book, I definitely bring up Gann, and I definitely bring up Fallon. So I mean, to me, that they've always been a big issue. You know, since to me when Making a Murderer had first came out, and I started researching them, and like no one, everybody was on the county level at Ken Kratz, you know, and you just got to look up for now, you know. I mean, if you're giving back the Hallback bones, the bones of Teresa Hallback, those bones, they've never been scientifically proven to be Teresa.
no.
No scientific community has ever proven them to be Teresa Hallback. Not
Yep.
the FBI, not the Wisconsin State Crime Lab. And then we have this issue with the ignition switch swab being, told that there's no EDTA in it, but we have Gann portraying himself as an assistant attorney general, which he was not. So he was privileged to FBI information that he wasn't supposed to be getting.
Yeah, and obviously the whole purpose of bringing the FBI in is because you bring them in from the federal level when they're there because there's an issue of wrongdoing by law enforcement, by the sheriff's department.
Yeah, they're governing your governor, you know.
Yeah.
But see, now we have a huge problem with that because Attorney General Josh Cole is a former FBI director.
Yeah.
And so whatever, I mean, who can he protect at his level now being a former FBI director? It's the top tier. They have a lot of shady players.
Yes. The the production that you did, your latest, as you call it, blog, Wordsmith. Have I got that right? No,
WordPress
production. I'm sure that it's yes. There we go. Yeah, Chad Keller. It's coming up on the. All your information is coming up on the live chat. You'll not be able to see it, but we've got this wonderful lady known as Pom Pom, who her name comes up in blue, and she's got the sign of a spanner next to her name, which means you don't mess with me. And she's just put up all your details to do with your YouTube channel, your production South WordPress, and your Twitter. So you're all there, okay?
Nice.
You are all there.
Thank you.
And in the in the latest one, you've got a side-by-side photograph of Norm Garn, and I'll let you fill in the rest.
Sorry, my
No.
GPS system was overriding what you were saying there.
Yeah, no worries. I'm saying that in your latest production about Norm Garn, you've got this side-by-side photograph of Norm Garn, and next to him you've got
the Grinch. They look identical. I mean, I don't know who's seen the photos, but if you look at them, I mean, Norman Gann has even got the crease in his lips that the Grinch has, and that's why I titled that little blog right there. I titled it how the Gann stole freedom, and we're talking about Stephen Avery's freedom, you know.
yeah.
Because I mean, this is a man who you know, he's supposed to be the pioneer of Wisconsin DNA, yet he sits there and tells Anjanette Levy on Making a Murder when he's down there in the basement during the press conference. He says that sometimes we have to deviate from protocol to make things make sense. Okay? It's the only time in his damn career that he has ever deviated from protocol.
Yes.
The only time. And Norman Gann knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. I was going to ask just one point. I've got somebody here on the chat saying they can't see you. There is a good reason for that. It's nighttime in America, and you're in your car driving along, and you've got your you've got to get yourself through.
I'm going down the road, nighttime person.
There we go. Yes, perfect. And
I'm going to turn that light off. I'll blind myself.
yeah, we had a little bit of a connection issue just as you said what the title of your blog was. Sorry, could you just repeat what the title of that blog is?
It's how the Gann stole freedom.
Yeah.
It's a direct reference to how the Grinch stole Christmas.
Exactly. How the Gann
see
stole.
the side-by-side photos. I mean, Norman Gann. I mean, that if they ever do another live version of the Grinch, Jim Carrey, you got some competition right there.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, in Jerry's book, I remember one of the chapters. He's quite complimentary of Norm Garn. I mean, is it the case that some of these guys, they're okay most of the time? It's just that they've come together on this. I can't honestly believe that the guys, when they were prosecuting Stephen Avery, didn't realise these are sensible, quite clever people most of the time. they surely knew that it was a case of the end justifying the means.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, Norman Gann and Buting, they sat on the Avery Task Force from December 23rd, 2003, all the way till August 31st together, 2005. Nearly 2 years, okay? And so Jerry knew very well what Norman Gann brought to the table when it concerns DNA. And this is my main concern. If anybody reads that article, okay, the Avery Task Force become the Criminal Justice Study Commission, and in October of 2006, only like 4 months before the trial starts, Norman Gann and Jerry Buting are talking about putting together a DNA task force and a DNA lab. Now, the only problem with this is that they're, you got all this DNA in question, and both of them are representing the state capital at that meeting. They're on a bipartisan commission, and Norman Gann was a special guest to that Criminal Justice Study Commission. And Jerry Buting says, "Well, let's not ask Peg Lautenschlager for funding." But guess what happens?
Yeah.
I've researched this, and shortly after the results come back, right before Peg Lautenschlager got out of office, she wrote a grant to one of Norman Gann's, one of his DNA commissions that he's on, for over $35,000, and this was during the time, like right at before she hopped out of office, before the trial started, but it was after they had met in October 2006. And Jerry Buting says, let's not ask Lautenschlager for any funding, but yet Lautenschlager cuts Norman Gann a damn check.
Yeah.
So someone tell me what's going on there. I mean, it's like they're almost signaling what needs to be done.
I'll give you my little story about when I got I got a letter through the post just before Christmas a few years back. Oh, quite a long time back now, 15, 16 years ago. And this letter said, you were driving, or your vehicle, they gave me the registration number. This vehicle was observed by police driving at 42 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. You have to provide, as you're the owner of the vehicle, you have to provide the name of the person who was driving the car. So I checked on that date, and I discovered that, yes, I was using the car that night to do a gig. But this gig is 20 miles away in Peebles, and I've got this gig that night, which finished at 11 o'clock. I then dropped off the keyboard player in Peebles itself. I then drove home. So there's no way that I could have been in Galashiels at 20 past 11 when the police say that I was there. And they came. I went to my lawyer down in Hoyk, and I said to him, what can I do about this? I said that they've got it wrong. The police have messed up here because they've got the wrong time. I'm not denying that I was in Galashiels that night at maybe midnight, 20 past, maybe 20 past midnight, but certainly not at 20 past 11 because I was still doing my gig. So my lawyer then got in touch with the police and said, have you got a photograph, a timed photograph? No. All it was just two people, two police, undercover police, in sort of not even in uniform, just stood there with a radar gun, getting people as they went past. One person read the speed and the other person, aiming the gun, and somebody else put down the registration number. So he said, leave it with me. Next thing I know, I've got policemen like a few weeks later at the door saying, you haven't responded to this thing about who was driving the vehicle. You know, now you're not just facing the speeding charge, but you're also facing the failure to produce the information. You know, you've got two charges that you face.
Right.
Well, to cut a long story short, this all went to court. I showed up in court. I took the keyboard player with me, who was the lad a pupil that I dropped off after the gig, to say about the timing of it, just to show that I wasn't there. I got a letter from the hotel to confirm that I was gigging there that night. And what they did at my case wasn't heard in the morning, and at the lunch break, my lawyer came to me and said that the prosecutor is offering you a deal. Plead guilty to the failure to give the details, and we'll drop the speeding charge. And I'm thinking, that's a complete utter fudge, you know. So, being a bit bloody minded, like I suppose like Steve is, I said, no way, you know. I said we've got these guys on toast. Well, the bottom line was that I got off with it completely. So the moral of the story there is because of their bloody mindedness in saying we're right and you're wrong. I was quite happy to accept that. Yeah, I was in Galashiels that night, and yes, there's every possibility that I was doing 42 miles an hour because I'm on my way home, and it's a bit of the section of road. It's actually 2 lanes. It's a good fast bit of road. Everybody gets caught along that stretch of road. But they are the law, but they got it wrong. You know, they got something wrong. They should face consequences for that, and hopefully, when that case against me, you know, the judge just threw it out as being not proven, because we have that here in Scotland. You know, this not proven. You know, if you have the not guilty or the not proven, guilty, not proven, not guilty. And I got off with it. It didn't cost me anything. No points, no fine, no nothing. You know, they would have picked up a fine for the speeding, but their insistence that they, you know, not. This is what annoyed me. They couldn't accept that they'd got the wrong time when I'm telling them that you've got the wrong time, and they're saying no, we haven't.
Yeah, if they got the wrong time, then they got the wrong time. And so Stephen Avery, and with that being said, they got the wrong man. 2 of the wrong men, Brendan Dassey and Stephen.
Can I just nip to the bathroom just very quickly? But I found something that I wanted to play, and I hope this is going to work okay, because I really do like this, and I'm hoping it'll play if I set it up. Hold on a sec. Okay, thank you. There he is. Could you tell us a little bit about that, please? I'm just gonna 2 seconds while you just give a quick talk about that you put together, because I think that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, those were my Stephen Avery trial whodunit cards. So it's an interesting story about that. I made a special set for the June rally. Those things, it was supposed to be a fundraising idea. It never really got off the ground. but I think it's a really cool concept. Probably would like to get back to that idea. If anybody's interested in helping to get those like relaunch, it's just like trading cards. You get 4 in a set, and they're pretty interesting because it has everybody in the queso, has everybody in the Manitowoc County, all the filmmakers, Kathleen Zellner. It has Brad Schimmel in it. It has Fallon. It's got all your key players. But it was supposed to be a fundraiser idea. Carla Avery and we discussed it. I mean, this is like, Paul, those things been out there for 3 years.
Yeah. I think it's very good. I like that, and I just, especially with the banjo going
I'll bring
along
you
with
a
it.
prototype set when I come to Scotland. I'll bring you a prototype set of them when I come to Scotland.
Yeah, good stuff. I just wanted to, while you're here, I wanted you to tell me a little bit about. Obviously, you've done the book Beyond Avery Road, but that's not your only book.
No. I'm actually working on my 5th book at the moment.
Right. And I know you did one about Jean.
JonBenet Ramsey.
Yes. Yeah. What? Can you just quickly run us through the sort of back catalogue of books that you've done?
I got one on Stephen Hawking about it's a world discussion on his ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease, versus radiation poisoning, which was very, very interesting. I mean, he's the only person in the world to ever live with Lou Gehrig's, as long as he did, and from 1962 till 1996. There's 30 years right there that he lived when they didn't even have advanced medicine for ALS. So it's pretty interesting. Most people contract ALS, they're dead within 2 to 3. And Stephen Hawking, they're like, oh, he had money, he could beat it. Money don't protect you from Lou Gehrig's disease. I mean, I hate to tell you, the only person that So yeah, I kind of get a conspiracy theorist rap, but I mean, I just call it like I see it,
The reason why there are conspiracy theories is because of particularly in Stephen and Brendan's case, is because of the investigation. Because the investigation was not an investigation; it was purely a case of we will get Steve, and
right.
And in this case, it isn't as a simple wrongful conviction where things were done incorrectly. And of course, I hope you don't mind me asking you about it, but you and Steve have the unique, you share something in common in that you've both been wrongfully convicted.
Right. Yeah, it's a horrible experience to go through. Our legal systems, they're not fair. They're very fallible. And if you get someone out for you that just doesn't like you, that has authority and power, they can make your life a complete living hell. I mean, that's the way it is, and that's nationwide and it's worldwide. And I'm pretty sure you've probably seen some corrupt stories around where you live in Scotland.
To be honest, yes. Although I do have a police friend of mine who sort of jokes about the fact that when he used to take the stand, he used to say, "I swear, I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing like the truth," which I think is in a way, it's quite funny because I knew this guy was a top policeman. But I was going to ask you, when they were fitting you up for this wrongful conviction, were they saying to you, just tell us the truth, just confess? Was there pressure on to sort of make some sort of deal?
Well, okay, so the thing is, I had a public defender who was dating the investigator who originally charged me with my offense a year earlier. She had gotten divorced, and so a year later, I'm going to confess to a misdemeanor crime at the moment because it was basically a harassment. I told someone on Yahoo Messenger way back in early 2000 that I was going to burn their house down, just talking shit to them on the internet. And so they come and arrest me for. Do you need to get in? Hold on just a second. Do you need to get anything? Do you want anything? I just need a love station, dude.
You need a what, sorry?
So yeah. So when I give me just a second. I'm ordering McDonald's.
Oh yeah. What are you getting? What are you going to get?
I have no idea at the moment.
You know what you're going to do.
Get a sausage biscuit.
He's going to make everybody hungry now. He's going to make you
biscuit. Add pickles and add onions. Add pickles, add onions, and then a Coke.
Tell them I want one, but I want to put extra butter on the biscuit.
And then I want another sausage.
We can't add pickle and onions.
You cannot add pickles and onions?
No, it's part of lunch. We don't have breakfast.
Okay, hold on. We gonna have a catastrophe here. Oh.
You're going for Coke? I'm surprised you're not going for the Dr. Pepper.
Oh no, I'm a Coke person.
I don't blame you.
Just let me get a Coke, scratch the biscuit.
Okay, go ahead and pull her out and I'll have it for you.
Do you want anything to drink?
Sweet tea.
And let me get a sweet tea. Okay, thank you very much. Man, okay, so they can't give me my pickles and onions. It's only McDonald's in the world and across the United States that's never put pickles and onions at damn 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm weird like that. I'm probably pregnant. I don't know. Yeah, I get pickles and onions on my sausage. Just the way I was made, guys.
Oh dear. I just.
Thank you. How'd you?
Okay, so has anybody ever had a sausage biscuit from McDonald's with pickles and onions on it?
Well, I know somebody that complained horrendously in Australia about the smoked sausage, but of course the sort of menu that you get over there is different to what we have.
Yeah, it's
here
a
in the
little
UK.
Thank you. Have a blessed night.
Oh, there you go.
Man, yeah, so that kind of like just pisses in my cornflakes right there, not putting pickles and onions on a biscuit. I won't even eat it if I can't get my pickles and onions.
Yeah, gee whiz.
Sweet and salty, Paul. Sweet and salty. Okay, let me get back on this road here. Yeah, so we're in Oklahoma. Me and my buddy John, we're headed over to Akron, Ohio right now, and then we'll head into Albany, New York, which is upstate New York.
Great stuff. So I wanted to, as I said, play that little bit of a clip for the trading cards. You know, I'm sure I'm gonna use that again in the future, because I think that's just absolutely brilliant. I just love that.
Yeah, man. I created those things. I had so much fun creating. I had so much fun creating those, and it like took me forever. And then, you know, I think they're good fundraising opportunities. People want to like jump on it. And,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah. I mean, what looking ahead, I know that some people have painted a pretty bleak picture of the way forward in this. I mean, my hope is that event because of the publicity that Making a Murder has achieved, that some good will come of it. You know, I'm one of these half glass full people. I firmly believe that there will be some good comes of you know, Stephen and Brendan being wrongly convicted, and eventually, you know, either getting a retrial or getting out. In fact, just before we go to that, what do you think the chances are of the state deciding to go for a retrial?
oh man, right now, I'm pretty sure Fallon is shitting a gold brick trying to rug sweep everything. If the state gets their way, you know, retrials off the question in the state. They're gonna have to go federal. I mean, that's just my opinion. Is they'll have to go federal. You know.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me? Okay. Paul, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, how many cups of coffee have you had today or
Well,
yesterday?
I think so. I think so. I'm having trouble with this. Trying to. Hold on a sec. I think I've gone on to the. I clicked to clear a message, and it's all changed.
That's what T was nasty.
Throw it out the window. Throw it out the window. Here, I'll do it.
It's wasting money.
It's $1. You ain't gonna drink it, are you? It's nasty. Don't taste it.
Right, sorry, Chad. Sorry, Chad. I was having huge issues then. I clicked on a button to clear something, and the whole lot went all wonky with me. No, I'm not blaming the machine. I admit, yes, I did something wrong there. I pressed on something that I shouldn't have done. Are you still there, Guy?
I'm still here.
Sorry about that. I do apologise, and to all the listeners.
No, you're fine.
Yes. So I completely agree that I can't see how the state would possibly want to go for a retrial because they, unless they were given assurances that even in a retrial that it would be made sure of that they would win again.
Right. Which would be very hard given the circumstances of the evidence to do it now is
Yes.
is so tampered with. There wouldn't be no evidence to convict any of them.
Having seen what they've done thus far, and I don't know what what worries me about all of this is the fact that you've not just got the legal system, which is against Steve, but certainly in Wisconsin, the media. I mean, you're a journalist.
Say that again.
What worries me is not the fact that you've obviously clearly got the legal system against Steve, but you've also got within Wisconsin the journalists. I mean, John Farrak stood out like a sore thumb, didn't he, when he was in doing his articles for the Post.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what do you make of the media in Wisconsin?
Well, the media gets its sources straight from the police. I mean, they're handed down straight from investigators, and it's funny if you go back and listen to the Manitowoc County calls the day that within a time frame they were looking for Teresa when she was missing. They even talk about sending Aaron Keller in, and Aaron is the one who went in and really saw the cut on Steve's on his finger, and he's zooming in on it, and so they even used the media to get the information of where Stephen was cut, and then they go and plan it. On the ignition switch.
Yeah.
But so it's not just using the media to brainwash people. They're using the media in all sorts of different ways.
Well, obviously, we have the March 2nd press conference. For me, that was wrong, not just because of the fact that Ken Kratz did that press conference, and I mean, he's admitted that if he's admitted that if he had the chance again, he wouldn't do that conference. He realizes that was. Well, of course he realizes how wrong it was, but for me it was the fact that you then had certainly the reporters going out and asking people, "Oh, what do you think of this Stephen Avery?" And they simply parrot all this out, and nobody's saying, "Hold on a sec, this can't be right. This can't be right. This." It just really annoys me the lack.
Well,
the lack of the integrity of the journalists.
Well, it's not even journalists at that point. I mean they done wrong too. But let's level the playing field, and let's talk about the defense. March 2nd, Dean Strang and Jerry Buden. Jerry Buden is in Dean Strang's office watching this press conference take place. Okay, well, Dean Strang's office is right across the street from Peg Lotschlager's office. So if Jerry Buden, as he mentions in his book, is in Dean Strang's office watching Ken Kratz on the news, why doesn't somebody walk over to Lotschlager and say, "Hey, what the fuck is going on here?" Excuse my language, but somebody, I just see evidence, and I'm going to call a spade a spade. If Lynn Kaczynski could be a bad attorney for Brendan Dassey, then why the hell can't Stephen Avery have two bad attorneys that come straight over from the state capitol level? I mean, just think about it.
Yeah, could I've mentioned this before. Could it be that when Glynn and O'Kelly, they eventually, this 36 million lawsuit is reduced to 400,000? Did they feel threatened? Would Jerry and Dean feel as if, hold on a sec, there are certain fights that you cannot win?
Well, I actually do think they feel threatened. I think Norman Gann felt threatened. I think Ken Kratz felt threatened. I think Stephen Glenn felt threatened. I think Walt Kelly felt threatened, and I think they were all being threatened by Fallon. I mean, you got to look at Fallon's track record and his position. And if you sit there and tell the defense, hey, you're gonna allege all this, you're gonna do so at your own peril. What the hell was you telling Fassbender? What the hell was you telling Gann to do? And so Gann, he shows up and tells Anjanette and Levy that that sometimes we have to deviate from protocol to make things make sense. What was he playing ball for the state because he knows what Fallon's capable of? I mean, when it comes down to does people know what was going to happen? Fallon's a dangerous man. I mean, nobody. If anybody thinks that Fallon is a man of integrity, they're just full of shit and don't know a hill of beans about the entire thing. But I think Fallon and the top tier cars, they were twisting people's arms left and right. I mean, you had Ken Kratz get hooked on Vicodin during the trial. Okay, if it's such a cut and dry case, Ken Kratz, and everything is gonna put Stephen Avery away, why the hell are you starting to get a Vicodin addiction during the trial? You know, I mean, somebody was scared of someone somewhere, and I believe that they were honestly all afraid of Fallon. Whatever they did that misrepresented justice, I call Butin myself. He is the illusion of justice. Everybody was afraid of that man right there, Thomas J. Fallon, and Peg Lunchslager. I mean this was a very powerful figurehead in the state of Wisconsin at this time. It's just people that if they wanted their way, they were going to get their way no matter how they done it, or your entire career is going to go out the window. And if they ain't going to take your career, they're possibly going to take your life.
Yeah. I've got a couple of questions for you. First of all, a message. You know who's coming on after me live?
Who's that?
Ali Apperson. She says, someone tell Chad that I love him and to unblock me.
Okay, I'll unblock you, but I got like so many people blocked.
I'm probably blocked by loads of people as well, but don't worry about it. Anyway, what I wanted to ask you is, do you have anybody? I've got people in my family. I'm not going to name names because that's unfair. Have you ever got people in your family that you know for a start, and I'll put this out to anybody, people in the family who you never ever ask them how you are, because you know you're going to be there 10 minutes listening to all their ailments,
Right.
Hypochondriacs. And is there any proof? Is there any proof that Ken Kratz was taking all these drugs?
Well, he admits it.
He admits it, but could that be like him trying to garner a bit of sympathy as an excuse for how he is? Because we've got that the expert Scooby.
Well, Vicodin will make you sweat, but
right.
Paul, Vicodin will make you sweat. That's one of the That's one of the legitimate side effects.
Yeah,
causes profuse sweating.
but I'm sure one of our experts in the group, it might be Scooby, had pointed out that if you were taking that cocktail of drugs, it would put people to sleep. It would knock them out. And for me, I think that's classic of sorry, carry on.
Well, here's the thing. If Jerry Butin and Dean String and Norman Gann and Ken Kratz all went to sleep, I guarantee you the state would have still got a conviction because it was premeditated.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just whether they put it to sleep or not. Yeah, I mean, Ken Kratz says that he's a narcissistic prick. We don't know what he's doing. I for one, I don't think that the Sexton scandal should have been put in Making a Murderer 1, like season 1. And I'm going to tell you why he shouldn't have been in there. It's because no one has rightfully focused on Tom Fallon.
Yeah.
Okay, you should have been going higher, but everybody, when there's a sex offense, and I know firsthand, when there's a sex offense involved, you catch so much hell as a freaking predator. So everybody's like, oh, Kratz is all of a sudden this villain, because of a sexting scandal that was at the end of 2009, 2010, but it had no place during the trial, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if that wasn't put in there, I believe a lot more people would have, could have, and should have focused at the top tier level back when Making a Murder came out the first time. And I think that even Kathleen Zellner would have been further along by now. Back when Trisha Bushnell was on the case, when I would talk to her, she's like, Zellner thinks Fallon's a man of integrity. Well, that seems to have changed a little bit now, so...
Yes, it's interesting. I often refer back to this very first phone conversation that I had with Robert Herman, where I'm
not excusing his actions later on, but it literally had nothing to do with the trial.
Yeah, that was the thing that he complained to me about was
all it did was cause public opinion of the man, and it diverted more things, and it makes you wonder why the hell Jerry Buden and Dean Strang haven't ever talked more about Fallon. They're sitting there telling them in court that you do so at your own peril. Hello.
Yes. Yeah, it's by the way, you need to get on and get your McDonald's eaten, don't you?
McDonald's, the next one's about 37 miles down the road.
Oh, right. So what do you do? Just get a drink?
Yeah, I just get a Coke.
All right.
I'm stopping for a little bit of fuel now.
Yeah. Another interesting thing. What did you make of Ken Kratz's book?
Shit. Toilet paper, 313 pages of toilet paper. How many pages it is?
I heard that because there's no way I'm going to take Mark Wiegert's advice and actually purchase a copy of the book under no circumstances whatsoever. I actually heard that from reading reviews that he's basically saying the same 4 or 5 things over and over again, simply repackage them.
Right.
Which is typical of some of the gutter press over here. We have a magazine called The Viz, which does a beautiful job of satiring there he is, Oliver.
The hero of the night. That's the If anybody hasn't met Ollie, this is Oliver. He's a Jack Russell mix. I call him a chic magnet, which is my language for chick magnet.
Yes.
So he's only 9.5 weeks old.
He was doing a great job in the last one, running off and chatting to that nice lady that was a nice girl that was behind you.
She ended up being my waitress. She was my waitress a couple of days before that, and I was she looked familiar. I'm like, I couldn't place her, but yeah, she's Mexican restaurant. She's a waitress at.
Oh, adorable, absolutely adorable.
Say hello, Ollie.
Hello, Oliver. Oliver.
Oh, when he acts like a girl, his name shall be Olivia.
Yes. dual personality.
He's in his sleepy time.
I bet. What time is it in over there now?
Hold on, let me check. Just a second. 3:36 a.m.
Gee whiz. And I thought I've just got a message just now from the keyboard player that I was with last night. He didn't get home till 2:00 in the morning. I mean, I was back about 12:15, 12:15 midnight, just straight to bed because I was exhausted. And then the alarm went up at 6:15 this morning for me to get up and get down the stairs here, down into my my music room that I do my teaching in, which is quite good because everybody now knows all about my interest in the case.
Yeah, you need you some Stephen Avery official trading cards right there
Yeah,
for
yeah,
pin up your wall.
absolutely, yes, yeah.
They'll help hold them shirts up.
Well, yes. I mean, it's so those cards haven't been printed yet.
I got several of them printed off. They're just on cardstock paper. I just gotta cut them. You know. Still, I gotta cut some of them. I have probably enough for like I got enough. Let's say about 1,500 right now. So I just never even cut them.
Well, at the rally, that would be a good place to bring them.
Yeah. See the first rally we had back in the very first rally, they were going as a gift and like we were supposed to auction something off or whatever and contribute. That's what I was gonna contribute, and I even made like special ones for Megan and Richard Mahler and. I mean, they were just interesting little things to me. Yeah, other people might not find them interesting, but trading cards are something that always, they were always fun.
Yeah. So beneath the picture, have you got a little description
Of a picture of them?
of what they are in the case?
Oh,
Do you have like a rating of out of 10 as to how corrupt they are, or
what I did, I kind of just put them in sets, and like Jerry Buting, Dean Strang, Stephen Glenn, and Walt Kelly all went in a set because they were attorney.
Yeah.
And then I had Gann, Kratz, Fallon, and Fassbender all in a set, and there's like four in a set, and then you just mix them and match them and send them out. So there's really no rating, but it's just got but on the back of them it gives a little blurb about them, like
that's what I say. That's what I meant. Yes. Yeah.
Need to know, you know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
Basis what I found most suspicious about them at that time. You know?
Yeah, because I actually made a comment on that video to say that for me, that Chad Keller looks a bit dodgy, and I just wondered what you'd put about him.
Well, the Andrew Colburn card on the back, it actually says Andrew Colburn did not write anything on the back of this card for the official report.
Oh dear. I mean, in fairness to Dean Strang, I read the transcript of him putting Andrew Colburn through the ringer over his report writing. And in fairness, I would have to say that was pretty good. All we get to hear is that bit at the end where that they're saying to Dean and Jerry, that was a tough day for Andrew Colburn. This is a man who puts on a badge every day and goes to work, and basically saying, you have to belittle him in that way, because we don't get the sense from the episodes of Making a Murderer exactly what was said there, but Dean Strang actually really went after him and said, should reports be timely? Should blah 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 blah? And who's in charge of that? And that's the guy in charge of the patrol. And who is that guy? It's Andy Colburn. So he he basically led him along, saying it's somebody's responsibility to make sure that the people working under you write reports on time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, as it should be.
Yeah. But to me, that here's the interesting thing there. Dean Strang had no qualms whatsoever about going after Andy Colburn, who's at the bottom of the food chain.
Right. Well,
But they would they do it of people higher up who they would consider to be their equal, and then go further on up?
Well, here's also an interesting thing. Okay, so if you go on Amazon Prime, I play a cop killer in a new documentary that's out. It's the Young's Brothers Massacre. Okay, it happened in 1932. It's a true story of the world's most deadliest police shootout for U.S. history. Okay, I play Jennings Young. It happens in Springfield, Missouri. Anyways, like, okay, so I do videography, right?
Yes,
And
yeah,
when we get a hold of Jerry Buden and Norman Gann and Making a Murder, they're focused on the box of the blood vial. So you also got to take that into consideration. Okay, did, did they get that set up, and how much of was Jerry Buden and Norman Gann playing this off? Because you got to think they sat for 2 years on this Avery task force, and then all of a sudden one big issue, they're just like, hey, Laura, hey, y'all come on down here, let's go, and automatically the box shows up. To me, it's like everything that was supposed to be found gets found on tape, but they're doing it on right below your nose on purpose. That's the way everything looks at me. How is all this stuff happening on purpose? Like Jerry Buden, he wanted, they wanted their own testing done for item FL so nothing would be contaminated. Then Sherry Colenhang turns around and contaminates it.
yeah, yep, yep.
But that's just one thing. Okay, so even though you got Dean Strain giving Colburn hell at the bottom level, you also gotta remember one thing. Okay,
Yep.
one thing you gotta remember. Making a Murder told a story of bad cops, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so go back to 2012 Super Lawyer magazine and read what Jerry Buden told the staff writer Eric Lichtenton, that he played Dean Strain was the good cop and he was the bad cop. I mean, I can't make this shit up, I
Yeah.
mean, and it's a different scene for whenever you watch Making a Murder 1 and versus Making a Murder 2, because if you just came on, a lot of people see Dean and Jerry as some bullshit attorneys, but then, like back in 2015 when it first came out in December, a lot of people held them as heroes. Okay, but I mean, it depends on which part of the saga you arrive at, and a lot of people have a lot of questions, and then a lot of people are just like, oh, they're upright and outstanding gentlemen, and to me, I've been screwed over by attorneys. I've been screwed over by investigators. An investigator dating my public defender. And that's what I was going to tell you when I was back in McDonald's. And even Lynn Kaczynski says this back in July 2005 when he's a municipal judge. He's talking about how public defenders, everything works like an assembly line. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're just there's no like real judgment. It's just like, hey, we're gonna plead you out and scare you to death that if you take this to trial, you're gonna get, the book thrown at you. So
Yes.
when I went to do a plea, it was a misdemeanor. The investigator, I was pleading out to a year of probation, misdemeanor offense. Okay. And all of a sudden, this investigator comes in and arrests me, takes me in, books me on sexual exploitation counts, and then they wouldn't let me withdraw a plea, but charged me with 2 felonies, and that public defender was like, hey, you don't want to take this to trial, just appeal it. So they put me on probation from then, and you know, when I finally went to, finally got appealed 4 years later. It's actually 6 years later because I didn't even go to prison for 2 years. I had a violation of probation that sent me to prison.
Right.
But I wasn't supposed to be registering as a sex offender. My charge never involved a minor. Okay,
Yeah.
it was a 46-year-old woman. I was like 19 years old at the time. Okay, but this investigator wanted to phrase it like, okay, there were kids in the house, but the kids had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
It's just bullshit, man. So you know, like when I saw in the case of how many balls Dean Strain and Jerry Buden were dropping,
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all are playing the field, okay? Y'all can't be this stupid. There's no way y'all can possibly be this damn stupid.
Yeah, for me, I see that Jerry at the moment is quite vocal in his support and has always been. I can see where a lot of these attorneys they like to sit on the fence. You know, they want to position themselves so therefore, you know, if things go one way, they can be seen to be okay, and if things go the other way, they can seem to be okay. You know, I can see a lot of this sort of, as I say, it's just sitting on the fence, and you know, if it's a bit like your fella Glenn saying that, you know, it was he felt so bad about, you know, Teresa, and
yeah.
you know,
So
Steve was
talking about
guilty.
Stephen Glenn at the moment, Making a Murderer, is it Making a Murderer season 2 where Glenn, Kelly, Strang, and Buden are all sitting around at a table. They're all sitting around at a table and they're talking about things that could have been done, should have been done. Well, how about Stephen Glenn and Walt Kelly? How about back in 2005? Y'all should have stayed on Stephen's case and took on his civil suit, and then had the money. I mean, he would have been better off with 4 attorneys going in there. You know,
Yeah.
if you already think he's innocent, then keep him innocent. You know,
Yeah.
But those 4 men split that check.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, a proven fact. Jerry Buden was one of the legislative members who helped vote for $460,000 to be given to Stephen Avery with Mark Gundrum. Okay, now that means Jerry Buden he was one of the members who didn't want to give Stephen Avery $1.2 million that he petitioned for.
Yeah.
So this is back in like 2003 when this is happening. So how the hell can you be a defense attorney for a person that you don't even want them to get $1.2 million for? You know, but then they split that.
Yeah.
They split that check, and it's Glenn, Buden, Strang, and Kelly who split it.
Yeah. I mean, it's as I say, for me, it does seem as if they like to just sit on the fence, wait to see, basically, which, you know, it's a bit like the game started. You think one side's going to win, but you're not going to place a bet on that one just yet. You're going to wait till half time and then maybe put a bet on which side you think is going to win.
Well, you know, here's one of the biggest things to me that I thought was shady as hell. You know, they say they say, well, if you want to allege that the police planted all this evidence, blah 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 blah, then they get up and say, well, that's one thing that the police have in common with Stephen Avery is that he didn't kill Teresa Hallback either. I mean, you don't have to prove anybody killed her, but if the police planted the evidence, how the hell did they get in possession of the body? You know, as a defense, you should have said, you know, we'll go out and put it out there. The police the police possibly could have killed her. You know, that would have been a better defense than the police. That's what they have in common with Stephen, that they didn't kill her, because they don't have to prove that the police killed her. But
Well,
it would have been a damn nice, defense method. You know.
well, I mean, you've only got to listen to Kenneth Peterson to realise that there's definitely an assassination squad over there at Man-a-thon Sheriff's Department. They've clearly talked about killing Steve.
Right.
So if they've talked about killing Steve, of course. I mean, look, coincidences do happen, but for me, the timing of Teresa's disappearance is not just coincidence; it's too convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? I'm going to be finishing up shortly. Ali has joined us to take over, and then obviously to move on to her channel. Can I just refer back to something that I mentioned to you before from Green Bean or Bean Green, and they pointed out that they thought that you were related to the Hod.
To who?
To Mark Hodinet.
Am I?
They thought that you were Mark Hodinet's son.
He could be my father. I don't know.
And I actually said to Mark, I said, now you were in America as an exchange student. What year was that? Well, it turns out it was back in the 70s. So I'm not sure if that can.
I was born 1983. So
I'm gonna say I think that if we were to have a word with my pals over at the Man-a-thon Sheriff's Department, I'm sure they could rustle up some evidence to prove that you are guilty of being his love child.
Oh yeah, I could be Mark Hardnight's love child, you know.
and the commenter also put that you don't need a chic magnet. Well, you need all of them, but they put that you're cute enough.
Well, thank you, but that person needs to go get their damn eyeballs checked.
You know, I went to the opticians the other day, and you wouldn't guess who I bumped into. Everybody.
Right?
Hi, Chad.
Hi, Allie. How are you?
I miss you. That's what.
You miss me?
Yeah, you need to unblock me, bro. I love you. You know that.
I know you love me.
All right. You don't have
I have like 9,500 people blocked. I couldn't even find you.
I know.
I was like, where the hell is she?
Well, I'm always here. You know, I got you back. I'm your friend. So if you can find me, unblock me. That'd be awesome.
Your hair's getting very long.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, I've got a goal to get it back to my ass before I cut it again, because I just.
Can you say ass on this?
No, you can't. No, you can't. No.
I said the F-bomb. I let the F-bomb slip.
Do you know what the best of it is that, you know, when I worked as a mechanic in the garage, I mean, Chad, you know about working as a mechanic. You know when you're tightening that bolt, or you're trying to slacken that bolt off, and it slips, and you end up smashing your hand against something hard. You go, oh dear, what a shame! I've just hurt myself.
Yeah. Oh my God! I just smashed my poor little finger. No, it's more like son of a. No, I tell you what hurts more than your finger slipping under the hood, Paul, is when you get a trailer hitch, a ball hitch on your right in the shin. Now that'll make you cuss worse than like 3 sailors. There's no worse pain.
Yeah. Well, I heard the other day about somebody that was killed when a lorry ran over his little finger.
Do what?
This guy, he died as a result of a lorry running over his little finger. It was up his nose at the time.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
I better pop over and get my thing ready. But I just wanted to say hi. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody make sure you hit like and subscribe to Paul.
Yeah.
And
Can I just say thanks again, Ali, for helping me out on this? This has been absolutely fantastic, and what a great event. I mean, did you ever see that video of the dude with his kilt?
I saw a picture, I think.
You want to go to
I
the
don't.
video. The reason he puts it on is because he's actually got some Scottish ancestry. So therefore he's entitled to wear the kilt, and he wears it properly as he describes it. But what it was all about, trying to get people together to do more on YouTube. And I think look, the dude's quite an emotional fella. I think he's been absolutely blown away by how successful this has been.
Oh, I am too.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Like, I just can't believe all these awesome people. It
Yep.
is 4 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and there are a lot of people watching still.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. These people are wonderful. The
Yeah.
donations for the guys, I'm just so happy that it's going well for them. We're raising lots of awareness for the rally. I'm so excited about it. Yeah. So
now I've just noticed that Chad's left. Thanks so much, Chad,
Uh-oh.
for joining in. No, it's okay. I think he was on to his next McDonald's, so he's going to see if he can get his pickles and onion. But no, it's so I know.
Hangouts audio.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I figured that was probably an accident.
Hello there. How you doing? No, okay.
Nope.
No. So how do I turn this off? I don't know. I'll forget it. But yes, it's always nice to have Chad on. We've got on very well right from the word go. I know that one or two people have had issues with him. I find him a very interesting character. For me, I think it's all about these different people that are involved. You know, we all bring something different to the table. Talking of which, are you going to let us know who's coming on next?
Yeah. And also, before I do that, I totally agree with you. That's one thing that I love the most, I think, about this whole community, is that there's so many amazingly smart, sweet, kind, giving, caring, intelligent people that have all these different things that they can do to offer. Like everybody, like even just the YouTubers alone, for example, we all are so different, but we all have the same goal. And I think that that's the thing that brings us together, and it should be the thing that brings us together, because we have that in common, even though we're giving something just a little bit different. I appreciate that so much about every single person that just joins us to watch and chat, and that posts on Reddit and retweets things and just is there to support. Those people are just as important. So I love that about this so much.
Yeah.
My first guest is going to be Paul, reporting live from my sofa. We might have something to discuss. We've been, kind of discussing a little something we're working out for, but I'll let him talk about that if he wants to. And then I've got, what is his name? This is another person, because I believe 7 Pairs of Panties sorted this out for me. A Redditor by the name of Stefan C. Limrunner.
Right.
Is the one that wrote the 3-part series called The Smoking Bullet.
Right.
On Reddit. So I'm excited to hear about that. I've read parts of it. I don't think I've read the whole thing, but I've read parts of it, and it's really interesting. And a lot of people are really excited to hear about that. And they're like, you've got to get on there and talk. So yeah, we're all going to learn about it together, about the bullet.
Excellent.
He'll be on around 7 Central Time. So yeah, there you go. Thanks, you rule.
So when Eric Jose does his final stint, he's going to be coming after me.
There's
finish
Chad.
it. All right. There he is, yes.
I don't know what happened. I think I just got abducted by aliens somewhere.
Well, yes, because I never got the chance to sort of thank you.
I'm sitting here butt naked in a cornfield, guys.
I knew it. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah. I'm going to say cheerio and thank you very much, Chad, for joining us. If you're available later on, come back. Ali, I'm my next stint is my 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock. If you're around, I'll send you the link and come on over and have a chat about things. By that time, we then hand over to the dude, and certainly I would quite like to at the end of my lot. I'm just going to get my accordion out and we'll do Auld Lang Syne.
Oh, awesome!
Because that's the traditional Scottish way of it. It means although we're saying goodbye, we will be meeting again soon. You know,
That's very sweet.
That's the sort of, as far as I know, that's the whole sentiment of all, for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. For the all time's sake, you know. So anyway, head on over to Alice's channel. Thank you, Chad, for joining us. It was absolutely brilliant. I'll send you the link again when I'll be back here. What's 10 o'clock now? I will be going live again in 9 hours' time. Yes, 9 hours' time because Ali's doing an extra hour to help me out, and then it must be Tracy.
Tracy's next, yes, after me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just give me like 1 to 2 minutes just to get set up and play us out or play your recording or say goodbye. But Chad, it was good to talk to you again for just a second.
Good to talk to you. I will unblock you where we can have a longer chat.
We will too. It was nice to see your new doggy.
Yeah.
Oliver's beautiful, isn't he?
Yeah, and I'm glad that you.
Ferocious. Oh my God, he's.
I'm glad you got one. I'm happy to hear it. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Yep. Cheers, Ali.
Hit like and subscribe for Paul. Bye, guys. And Chad.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
So, anywhere near your McDonald's, Chad?
Do what now?
Are you anywhere near your next McDonald's?
Probably. I know I passed one, but if I get hungry, I'll pull over.
Right.
So yeah. I see your street cred from Scotland is getting up over here in the United States.
Wow.
You're getting famous. They're gonna have to assassinate you if you don't watch it.
Well, yeah, it's I'm a bit concerned about coming to Man-a-thon, but I feel safety in numbers. If there's a whole load of us, there's not a lot they can do. So,
you ain't no more concerned than I am.
Yeah. But let's put it this way: I'll let Irakoze wear the kilt. I'll not be wearing the kilt.
I'll speak Australian, and when I'm there, I'll just tell everybody I'm Mark Houdenot's son this time. Jack Keller, who is that bloody bloke, eh? I don't know him. I just got here from Australia, and your freaking McDonald's is a lot better, eh? That's all I'm gonna know. It's like.
That's a very good impression, actually. I heard a lot of that when I was in Sydney and Melbourne. Yeah, that's exactly what they talk like. Brilliant.
We have a beef jerky place in Georgia, back in my hometown, Dahlonega, and there's so many kangaroos that unfortunately get hit down there, but they ship them to California. And then California, they come through California, and then they go off to like these jerky companies, and they make kangaroo jerky. But California is trying to pass a law where they won't accept like deceased kangaroos.
Right.
But they're making money, So anything to do with making money, then you're cutting into politicians' paychecks and their grandchildren's golden and silver spoons, feeding them bullshit.
Yeah.
Everybody else more bullshit. But we did have a kangaroo conservation in the mountains in Georgia, but
yeah,
I don't know. I guess they all hopped away, or there's wild kangaroos out there. So Mark could be my daddy.
Well, yes. He had suggested that when we get the pair of you on, it would be Chad and Dad.
the Outback duo, eh? Don't spit your coke. Keep it in.
It's yeah. I've got this Dr Pepper, and I must admit I've had 2 glasses of it, and I think I'll pass on the rest of it because it's. In fact, I'll tell you what I've got to keep me going now for the rest of the day. The old Red Bull.
Oh man, that stuff is bad for your heart.
Yeah, but if you drink it in moderation, I mean that's the first.
Let me tell you an old wives' tale about Red Bull, which is really not an old wives' tale; it's a current wives' tale. There is bull sperm in Red Bull. Right.
Yes.
You know that, right?
It's used as also in glue, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know we know better than to milk the bulls down south, Paul. we don't milk bulls, we milk cows. So be careful what you drink. Some things are just bad for the heart.
Yes. Yeah, it is very effective though. I must admit that. I don't drink it very often, but when I do, it does the kick does have quite an effect. And I certainly needed it yesterday morning because it was midday that I went on with hitting my time, but I'd been up since 4 o'clock in the morning because I wanted to listen to John Farrak. Have you spoken much with John Farrak?
I spoke one time with him. I've been trying to get some information to him about Ricky Hochletter. I got a 3D map that I recreated of his entire trek. I believe Ricky unfortunately got hit by one of the snow plows.
Yeah.
And drug, because if you think of a low, the ride height of the Chevy van or the Chevy S10, you would have never plowed a 200 plus pound kid as big as Ricky that far. I mean, but the snow plow to break his neck and everything's consistent with a snow plow injury. And the thing is, I checked the drivers, and they, of course, there's relations to the Hermans.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to say cheerio, and if I could send you the link to the next one, and if you're around, then we've got loads more to chat about. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be having some coffee, driving, and I'll probably be hopefully in Oklahoma or not Oklahoma, Ohio around that time. You said it's going to be 10 hours from now?
9 hours from now, yes.
9 hours, okay. Yeah,
okay.
I'll speed up where I can get to you quicker.
Okay. Chat to you soon, mate.
All right, talk to you soon. Be careful.
G'day.
Good day, eh? Good day.
Good day.